Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro.
Hey, everybody. Good to be with you. I'm actually traveling with my family, my wife and my three kids for the next few days. So you may hear my 2-year-old in the background. But I wanted to get on this call because this country really is at a crossroads, as you all know. We are going to choose between somebody who's going to take us down the road of fascism and authoritarianism, or we're going to choose somebody who's going to protect our democracy and make sure that this is a democratic nation. And a lot of folks over the last few months have asked in particular how they can get their family and their friends and their neighbors to vote. How do you get people inspired? And I think it's true. There's been a burst of energy and a burst of momentum since Kamala Harris took over as our nominee. But as y'all talk about these issues, I hope that you'll do your best to talk about them in very familiar terms, in terms that describe how they affect your life and the life of our family members. And I want to speak really quickly to two of those. The first is on healthcare. And some of you may know that a few years ago, I was diagnosed with neuroendocrine cancer. I was in a car accident in Spain, and I got diagnosed in Spain with neuroendocrine cancer. And when I got back to the United States, I had a lot of doctor's appointments and, of course, started treatment and had major surgery last year. And then I was told that I have to take a treatment every month. And I started looking at the different bills that I was getting every month. And even though I have insurance now, there were times growing up when my family and I didn't have insurance, and even times as an adult where I didn't have insurance. So this shot that I have to take every month to get treated for neuroendocrine cancer, the price of that drug called lanreotide, the list price that was on that bill was $24,000 per injection. $24,000 per injection. So you can imagine how many Americans who are underinsured or uninsured in so many states across this nation don't get the cancer treatment that they need because they can't afford it. And that's the case not just for cancer, but for diabetes, for sickle cell, for heart disease, and any number of drugs. The reason it matters in this election is because Donald Trump wants to take away the Affordable Care Act. He wants to do away completely with Obamacare. And Kamala Harris will make sure that we not only protect the Affordable Care Act, but that we expand it so that every American is covered. The second one is on if you remember a few weeks ago during the RNC, you saw these signs of all these thousands of RNC delegates holding up mass deportation signs. In other words, kicking out folks that are not only undocumented, but also, as history has shown us, people who are American citizens. During the Great Depression and then later during what was known as Operation Wetback, there were over 1 million people who were U.S. citizens, not only undocumented immigrants who certainly would be deported, but who were American citizens during these mass deportation campaigns who had every right to be in the United States that were deported to Mexico, a country many of them had never even been to. So that's what's at stake. I say that as somebody whose grandmother came to this country when she was 6 or 7 years old as an orphan because both her parents had died at the time of the Mexican Revolution. And when my grandmother came to Texas, there were still signs above some Texas businesses that said no dogs, Negroes, or Mexicans allowed. That is the past that Donald Trump and Project 2025 want to take us back to. So please, y'all, do everything that you can. Make every call you can. Walk every block you can. Donate every dollar that you can. Talk to every family, friend, neighbor, everyone that you can to get them to please vote for Kamala Harris. The future of our country, the future of our democracy, the future of our families is at stake. And thank y'all so much for being engaged and for organizing.
Thank you, Rep. Castro.